Welcome to Richard in the Sky. We are back in Torrance, California at the airplane factory where we are building my Sling TSI. A lot of progress has been made since we were last with you. Obviously you can see that the engine is on. We have a lot of different parts being built. The wings have been assembled. Here's the left wing and here's my right wing. Here's the aileron, and then we've got the flaps here, but you can see they're all put together, including the tips. So our strobe lights will go on the end here with this electrical. Our strobe and our navigation. The rear empennage has basically been assembled. We're missing a couple of parts there. A lot of the interior has been done. So you can see there's quite a bit still to do. We've got all these little parts still here on the board. Front and back. So on the front here, we've got undercarriage and canopy finishing. And on this side, we've got a lot of fuselage parts. So there's still quite a bit of detailing still to be done. But we're making really great progress now. So here we've got the locker for my plane where we've got, you know, the manuals and other parts that we kind of want to protect. So here's all the manuals for the build. Here's my battery. I'm gonna have a lithium ion battery in the plane. It's kind of light, so might need to add some weight in the front of the plane for weight and balance, because this is a very light lithium battery. The landing gear and the nav lights, and then we've got Aero LED wingtip lights, and then here's the strobe light for the top of the vertical stabilizer. Oh, these are cool. These are my little air vents that will go into the panel mount. It's amazing how expensive little parts are. These little air vents, about like $140 each. It's pretty crazy. But they're really good. They work really well. And then we've got other things here, like here's the landing light covers that go on the front of the wing, and other accessories with regard to that. Inside here, a lot of the rods and stuff, I'm still missing my joysticks, so once we get those, they'll be right here. In about a month, the Midwest panel guys are gonna put in the glass panel. I have two G3X touches. I have a GFC 500, which is the autopilot. I have a G650 XI, which is the touch navigator. And all of those will work together to, you know, fly the autopilot and to navigate the airplane. And then the panel comes out to about here. Here's like center console stuff. So between here and here, we'll have like the throttle and brake. It's a hand brake in this plane. A lot of general aviation planes use toe brakes, and toe brakes was an option on this plane, but I like that when I pull the hand brake, it brakes both of the main landing gear wheels rather than braking independently. That's full throttle, and then the brake, you pull the brake back like this. That's the hand brake, and the throttle quadrant. And the hand brake brakes equally the main landing gear, so both wheels get the same brake power. It's not independent. What steers the plane is not brakes, independent brakes like you have in a lot of general aviation planes, but the nose gear has a swivel, and the pedals of the airplane steer the plane, and the brake just brakes the plane. So the brake, you just pull it back like this, and back here we'll have, there's a switch to lock the brake. So what we do is we pull the brake and then we turn the lock, and that locks the brakes, and that's how you can do like run-ups, things like that. And then you release the brake, and then this will kind of just go forward by itself, and off you go. That's the locker. So last week you mounted the engine.
Yes, we attached the engine, hooked it up to the front nose gear mount. Mounted with four and 10 bolts.
Yeah.
And yeah, got that up and going. Started the connections with the electrical here. Got
Sweet.
all this wired in.
All right.
Nicely,
yeah, I see the wires coming out into the
tucked
fuselage.
away. Yep.
Now this is the Rotax what do we get? We call it the 915 or the 915 IS?
It's the 915 IS.
When Sling created the TSI, up from the Sling 2 and just the Sling 4, the Sling 4 TSI was literally designed around this engine.
How they started was they had a 914, so a turbocharged carbureted engine. They're trying to figure out how they can do it better.
And
so they came up with this engine. You're making 140 horsepower out of a 1300 cc engine, which
That's
is
insane.
More than 100 horsepower per
mean,
liter.
100 horsepower per liter.
Yeah, back about 30 years ago, that was like an unbelievable number to hit, and now we're doing it with fuel efficiency.
So that's about it for today. I think the next time we see you, we will probably have the guys from Midwest Panels out installing the panels. That'll be really fun to see. And then from there, it'll be painting and then just fine-tuning and putting the wings on and things like that. But we're making great progress down here, and we're getting closer and closer to flying an airplane. My airplane. That's crazy. Thanks so much. Subscribe to Richard in the Sky. Boom.